Thank you, Hughes. Good evening once again. For a club of United stature, Champions League football is a minimum requirement, and if they don't lock down fourth place here tonight, it would be a big surprise, as Chelsea have been dismal this season, and it's been so long since they won here. United have just won the title. It has been some time. A reminder of the two teams here for this evening: the same United side which won at Bournemouth, De Gea in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Lindelof and Shaw the back four, Casemiro and Eriksen at the base of midfield, Antony, Bruno Fernandes and Sancho behind Anthony Martial. Three changes for Chelsea, which makes them the youngest ever starting lineup they've had in the Premier League era. 19-year-old currently Chukwuemeka, 21-year-old Noni Madueke and 22-year-old Mikhailo Mudryk come into the team. 8 of the side are aged 23 or under. Thiago Silva, Ruben Loftus-Cheek and the injured Raheem Sterling drop out. It is Kepa in goal, Azpilicueta, Fofana, Chalobah and Hall the back four, Fernandes, Gallagher and Chukwuemeka in midfield, Madueke and Mudryk either side of Havertz in attack. Perfect evening here at Old Trafford, pleasantly warm, the sun just setting behind the Stretford end away to our left hand side. Many of the crowd in shirt sleeve order, and we've not had that on too many evening kickoffs in the remainder of the season. As Chelsea get the game underway, one more point and Manchester United will be in the Champions League. Chelsea, of course, will finish in the bottom half of the table for the first time since 1996. Can they get a crumb of comfort here at Old Trafford? Well, Chelsea give the ball away in the opening seconds. It's then cleared long downfield by Chalobah and it's gathered on the far side by Shaw, and United will try and build with Lindelof at the heart of their defence. Wide to Varane, who's got room to bring it forward on this near side. Wan-Bissaka is also forward, plays a 1-2 with Antony. Good covering challenge though from Mudryk, and now Havertz plays it back to Hall, and Hall will go all the way back towards Chalobah again. Kepa given a bit of a teaser as a back pass from the central defender, but he manages to clear downfield. Mudryk again winning the ball in the air on this near side, but United have it back. Bruno Fernandes tries to find Antony. It's all very frenetic. Casemiro wins it back. Now Bruno Fernandes on the edge of the penalty area. Gallagher comes back to make the challenge, but now an opportunity for Sancho inside the area, and eventually it's guarded behind by Azpilicueta at the expense of the game's first corner.
Superb tempo from Manchester United. Every single time Chelsea went to play out, there was a red shirt right there with pressure on. Casemiro with a brilliant challenge, just read it perfectly from Gallagher that set the attack away.
First corner of the game on the far side, an in-swinger cleared away at the near post by Mudryk. Now Bruno Fernandes slices the ball across the face of the field. Antony with the cross in, which is headed away by Hall. Now Shaw again, wide on the far side, has support from Sancho. Shaw on the overlap, but the crossing is blocked by Chalobah, and it's scrambled away by Azpilicueta on the far side, who is very much the old man of the Chelsea team tonight at the age of 33. A cross into the penalty area from the far side is gathered by Hall. He brings the ball down on his chest, plays it long downfield. Now there's a slip by Lindelof, and Havertz has it for Chelsea, has support from Gallagher down the centre, but he just drifts offside. So it's back to Chukwuemeka, and now wide towards the far side, and Fofana down the Chelsea right. Chukwuemeka swings him the shot, and it wasn't too far over the top.
Now it's a good break, because it was a bad mistake from Lindelof, just slipping when he was there to head it, just allowed Chelsea, and they flooded forwards. 5 blue shirts on top of the 4 Manchester United players. It was whipped back to Chukwuemeka, who tried to then arc that in over the top of David De Gea into the far corner, probably a foot over the top.
2.5 minutes played on Talk Sport at Old Trafford. Manchester United 0, Chelsea 0. On the night when United just need a draw to finish in the top 4, and the previous 5 meetings between these two sides in the Premier League have all been drawn. It was 1-1 at Stamford Bridge back in October when Casemiro scored a 94th minute equaliser for United after Chelsea got ahead very late in that game. But United at home this season have been really good in all competitions. 25 wins, 4 draws and only 2 defeats. Manchester City, the only club with more wins at home across the top 5 leagues in Europe this season. Now Mudryk plays it forward towards Gallagher, stabbed wide to Hall, and Hall can now break into the penalty area. Early ball back in, looking for Mudryk, and what a chance for Chelsea. Mykhailo Mudryk 8 yards out on his own, and he misses his kick completely.
And that just sums Chelsea up. They're so wasteful in front of goal. It was a brilliant break, brilliant flick round the corner from Gallagher. Lewis Hall was away, picked out the right pass from Mudryk in the middle of the penalty area. Wan-Bissaka missed it, it was there. It's the simplest of side foots that's needed, and he just lets it come across his body, right across his foot, glances away. Pathetic effort from Mudryk. Top class player, woeful finish.
Well, he is a player who has lacked confidence seemingly from the moment he arrived. Of course, for a long time it seemed as though he was signing for Arsenal. Then Chelsea made one of those characteristic 11th hour bids in the January transfer window, up the money. Shakhtar Donetsk said yes, and since then his career's really stalled. Now Martial on the edge of the penalty area, in behind Fofana for a second, but his first touch just allows Chalobah to hammer the ball away. 4.5 minutes played here. It is 0-0 and it's absolutely breathless.
It is, and Chelsea are playing a very, very high line. I mean, with Fofana and Chalobah, I guess they've got that extra bit of pace as the centre-back pairing, but they've played very, very high, and it's meant that Manchester United, if they get the runs right, as Martial did, but not the touch, then they're in.
And this the final Premier League game before the final day of the season on Sunday. And the TalkSport network is the only place to hear the conclusion of the Premier League season and the 3 playoff finals on Saturday. 4:45 kickoff for Luton against Coventry for a place in the Premier League with Adrian Durham, Sam Matterface, Dean and Ian Holloway. There's a free kick for United has been awarded on the far side by Stuart Atwell, the referee. Higher looking for Casemiro, and Casemiro rises to head the opening goal, and it's the Brazilian who strikes yet again. His purple patch in front of goal continues, and that one could be enough to ease United into the Champions League.
Well, he's a threat, isn't he, Casemiro? He has been since he's joined Manchester United. But it's about the delivery. If you get the delivery right, where it tempts the goalkeeper to come out, but he's not quite sure. If as a defender, you're not quite sure whether to go for the header because you're facing your own goal, then that's when it can be dangerous. Eriksen's ball in was absolutely brilliant. Glancing header from Casemiro, hardly any pressure on, he just gives Havertz a nudge, and of course he just falls away. And he just nods it over the top of a small-looking Kepa Arrizabalaga for a brilliant finish in his second goal in 2 games. Manchester United have been the worst team in the Premier League from set plays, only scoring 4, and Chelsea have conceded 1 to them.
Well, it was more shoulder than head from Casemiro in the end, but it was enough to guide the ball, and there is a VAR check. Just having a look at this. Now, is there an offside call against Casemiro? His arm was outstretched in the centre of the penalty area, and was he just in behind Havertz?
I think it's just going to be the shoulder or the knee of Casemiro, and then I think it's Fofana who's the other player.
Well, Michael Salisbury is the VAR official here, and they're taking a long look at this, and they're rewinding and just spooling around the area, and is it Casemiro just leaning in behind either Fofana or Havertz?
I think we've all seen by now how
the goal's been given. He's onside. Lindelof was actually offside, but of course he wasn't involved in the final phase of play, so Casemiro can eventually celebrate his goal, and Manchester United lead by a goal to 0. And defensively, that was absolutely awful from Chelsea.
Well, there wasn't really any pressure. Like I said, Havertz was just nudged out of the way. No one was picking up Casemiro. They just ambled back into the area with no real intensity or organisation, and It's just not good enough at this level.
And United, 19 wins, 2 draws and only 1 defeat previously this season when they've scored the opening goal in the Premier League. And as it stands, they will move above Newcastle into 3rd place on 72 points if they win this game. And of course Liverpool will be in the Europa League. Now Sancho coming forward again, and he almost found Bruno Fernandes down the centre, but the ball just evades his grasp at the last minute, and Chelsea here are a defensive shambles.
I mean, there's no shape. I mean, look, Chalobah and Fofana, it's arguably first time they played together as a two. Azpilicueta's high, Lewis Hall's high, there's not that protection, and they're exposed at the moment.
High ball played forward again from Chelsea. It's won by Mudryk on this near side. Bobson weaves away from the challenge of Casemiro, but the Brazilian comes back to fight him with the challenge, and now Fernandes with the back heel to try and release Eriksen, but it's won back by Chukwuemeka, and Fofana will come forward now for Chelsea. Good ball into the penalty area for Havertz, all on his own, but it was square towards Gallagher, but Gallagher maybe not aware of what was around him, allowed the ball to just run across his body when in the event he was almost clean through.
They've looked good on the break actually, Chelsea. A couple of times they've just got in behind, they've dragged the 2 centre-backs in behind the full-backs and just opened that space up in the middle. And again, it's a good ball in. And Gallagher just doesn't read it. He just doesn't read that ball is going to come across. And he's on his heels and it's past him.
Well, we played just under 10 minutes here. United lead by a goal to 0, but Chelsea have had 2 really good opportunities themselves. But they are wide open at the back as Martial comes forward again now. Wide to the left-hand side, and Sancho, who will try and take on Azpilicueta, who has played in some great Chelsea teams, but his career at Stamford Bridge looks to be coming to an end at a side which is disintegrating around him at the moment as Gallagher plays it wide to the far side. Havertz manages to check back and keep the ball in play. Forward towards Gallagher again, inside the penalty area. Patrolled by Luke Shaw. It's wide towards the far side again in Fofana. Azpilicueta back in field towards Chukwuemeka. And a lot of young players in the Chelsea team are having to learn some fairly harsh lessons early on here. Now Gallagher finding Azpilicueta down the line from Chukwuemeka, and Fofana's got space down the right. Low ball into the penalty area. It's blocked though by Casemiro, and it's brought clear by Sancho. Looks to carry the ball up to the halfway line, but he's challenged by a retreating Enzo Fernandez, and now Fofana has it back for Chelsea again, and here is Enzo Fernandez again. 11 minutes played on Talk Sport. Manchester United leading by a goal to 0 thanks to Casemiro for the second game running. And 1 was enough for Bournemouth on Saturday. And the way this game has started, you feel that 1-0 won't be the final scoreline here.
No, I mean, look, Chelsea haven't come here to just sit behind the ball. They've got attacking players on the pitch, they're trying to utilise that, but they have left themselves so exposed when they lose the ball.
Well, Chelsea haven't won here since May of 2013 when Juan Mata scored the only goal. Now Gallagher. Rafa Benitez was the interim manager then, and he did have a measure of success despite not being hugely popular. Gallagher on the edge of the penalty area, quickly closed down by Casemiro, but here is Enzo Fernandez, the World Cup winner in the Chelsea side, and now Hall will go all the way back to the halfway line, and Fofana once again. And Chelsea enjoying some decent possession here inside the United half. It's given away, but then won back by Gallagher, who sprays it wide to the far side. And Gallagher inside the penalty area, just slips at the crucial moment. Hall will try and win it back, but he's challenged by Anthony. But Hall, game, sprints wide to this near side to try and close down Wan-Bissaka, but now Bruno Fernandes quickly plays it forward. Martial with a clever touch to release Anthony. In space on this near side. Hall out of position, so Anthony comes in field. The crowd urge him to shoot, and he does shoot left-footed, but he slipped in the act of shooting, and it squirts wide of the far post.
Yeah, he makes the wrong decision in the end because he'd been closed down by Chalobah. It's a brilliant break, lovely flick round the corner from Anthony Martial, and then Anthony's got to make the right decision when that angle is closed down for the curling shot, you've then got to play the pass. Wrong decision, he slips, makes a hash of it, and the chance is gone.
13 minutes played. You're listening to Manchester United against Chelsea on TalkSport with Now Sports. And don't forget that with Now Sports you can stream all the Sky Sports action like Manchester United against Chelsea. This game live right now for $11.99, no contract. Search Now Sports. And Frank Lampard was in the team the last time Chelsea won here in the World Under-20s. England are leading Uruguay by 2-1 in the match which is currently underway. And in Super League tonight, Wigan have taken an early lead at Hull KR by 4-0. Now Hall on this near side, back again towards Enzo Fernandez, and that game in the Super League is live over on TalkSport 2 as Hall's high ball wide to the far side is eventually overhit and it goes out of play, and United will have a goal kick. It was Madueke who was just unable to keep the ball in play.
Ten Hag though, he's right on the edge of his technical area, just outside it in fact, having a go at a couple of his players, allowing Chelsea too much time and space to attack this Manchester United backline. That's not what they've been about actually under Ten Hag. He wants every single player to be a part of that defensive unit. Anthony's had a word with Wan-Bissaka as well, and he just wants that intensity in defensive situations. Okay when it seems open to go and attack, but yourselves have got to be just conscious of your positioning.
Chelsea with only 36 goals in 36 games so far. The lowest previous total in the Premier League was 46 back in 1996 as Fofana will shepherd the ball back towards Kepa again on the edge of the penalty area as it breaks down between Bruno Fernandes and Anthony Martial. And we will have all angles covered in the relegation battle on the final day of the season. Game Day Live with Adrian Durham, live from Goodison Park, where a win for Everton against Bournemouth will mean survival for them. Live on TalkSport we have commentary of Leicester against West Ham with Sam Matterface and Scott Minto, and Ian Danter and Perry Groves on TalkSport 2 will bring you Leeds against Spurs, and we will have 4 other Premier League games live on the TalkSport app on Sunday afternoon, and on TalkSport 2 we're live at Wembley at 1:30 for Carlisle against Stockport in the League 2 playoff final. The League 1 playoff final, big South Yorkshire derby, Barnsley against Sheffield Wednesday, live on TalkSport 3 o'clock on Monday. And then it's the European finals coming up, Sevilla against Roma next Wednesday, the Europa League final. Of course we have the FA Cup final, the Manchester derby, a week on Saturday on TalkSport at 3 o'clock. On the 7th of June, it is West Ham against Fiorentina, live from Prague, the Europa Conference League final. And then the Champions League final from Istanbul, Manchester City against Inter Milan on the 10th of June, all live on TalkSport. Now Anthony comes forward now for Manchester United again. A low ball in there was swept away by Chalobah up towards the halfway line. But United in firm control of this game at the moment whenever they have the ball. 16 minutes played, Chelsea have had their moments, and just a lack of calmness inside the penalty area has cost them at both ends so far.
Manchester United as well, they've been very, very sloppy when they've suddenly opened up those positions. It's been a loose pass from a number of the players so far, and both of these sides, I mean, they're so guilty in terms of missing chances. Lovely flick from Fernandes, he makes that run very, very well from that position alongside the striker. Didn't quite get to Martial.
Now a Chelsea player has gone down, Chukwuemeka on the far side, and in the end it's been played out by Madueke, and Stuart Atwell has come back and I think has awarded Chelsea a free kick for the earlier challenge. And Chukwuemeka making only his second start for Chelsea this evening in the Premier League. Signed for £20 million from Aston Villa, one of a number of really good young players to have come through their academy over the past couple of years. He was crunched by Casemiro, Chukwuemeka. But Chelsea look to build again now with Fofana wide on the far side. Havertz has almost given the ball away to Eriksen, but Chukwuemeka helps him out and lofts it wide to this near side. And the peroxide topped Mudryk. Now Enzo Fernandez high towards Havertz inside the area, headed away though by Lindelof, and then Gallagher just miscontrols, but Chalobah steps in before Fernandes to head the ball away, but in the space he's vacated, Antony now sprints forward for Manchester United in towards Martial, but he dallied inside the penalty area. The challenge came in for Fofana, and it's gathered by Kepa.
I mean, come on. 3 against 1 Manchester United. Great run from Fernandes on the overlap of Antony, which opened up the space to pass it to Martial. All he's got to do is control it, and then he's in on goal, 1v1 with the goalkeeper. An absolutely dreadful touch. No concentration whatsoever. Just completely wastes the chance. Runs it into Kepa's hands. Waste.
Well, Erik ten Hag did say this week that he feels United are a much better side with Martial in the team. Others may say the jury's out.
I mean, it doesn't get any easier. A simple rolled pass across to you, no pressure on you whatsoever, just a nice little touch needed, or even he could have took it himself without even taking the touch. Instead, he tries to control it with the outside of his right foot, which I don't really see why you would do that. You'd open yourself up because you're on the left-hand side. Just open that up onto your left foot. Instead, it was a woeful touch and a good bit of defending in the end from Azpilicueta.
Well, Azpilicueta, following that challenge on Martial, has now gone down on the far side and is receiving treatment. Of course, he's been used sparingly by Chelsea this season. The fewest starts in his 11 seasons at the club. Has won 8 major honours during his time with Chelsea. Really, he is a reminder of better times, certainly in this Chelsea team on show here tonight, although we can't really blame the young players who are out there for the problems here this season.
No, we can't. And actually, I think they've shown really how immobile that Manchester United midfield is. You know, that energy, that enthusiasm in that Chelsea midfield, I think have been good when they've attacked and shown that vulnerability that Manchester United still have. But the quality and the confidence, maybe from more experienced players, isn't quite there.
Well, that goal from Casemiro means Chelsea have only kept 2 clean sheets now in their last 16 games, and they've only won 2 of 16 games this season when they've conceded the opening goal. And Gallagher just loses his footing on this near side and invites the challenge from Wan-Bissaka. But credit to Gallagher, and it's a fairly low bar, but at least he's running around at the moment and offering some
I think that's the minimum you always get from him, is that incredible effort, that work rate. He doesn't shy away either from wanting the ball and trying to make things happen. It's not quite happened for him yet in a Chelsea shirt, but at least he's one that's got the endeavour and the realisation of what's required.
21 minutes played here on TalkSport at Old Trafford, live and exclusive to National Radio. It is Manchester United 1, Chelsea 0. Casemiro with the early goal, and as things stand, United will be heading up into 3rd place before the final day of the season on Sunday. Now Enzo Fernandez has been caught by Bruno Fernandes just inside the United half, and Chelsea will have a free kick. Enzo Fernandez, a large part of the £600 million that Chelsea have spent in the 2 transfer windows under Todd Bowley. Lewis Hall on this near side, and it's been a season of contrast for the Argentinian, winning the World Cup before Christmas and then joining Chelsea afterwards. Now Havertz, wide to the far side, plays the 1-2 with Azpilicueta, he seems to be okay. Madueke takes over down the Chelsea right, looking to twist and turn beyond Shaw, deep into the penalty area. Shaw makes the challenge, and in the end, Stuart Atwell takes the view of the assistant on the far side and has given a corner kick to Chelsea.
He's had such a good season, hasn't he, Luke Shaw? He's starting to get that aura that Kyle Walker has, because he's such an incredible athlete, so quick over the ground, Luke Shaw. Players are finding it very, very difficult once they get in a 1v1 situation with him to get past him.
Corner kick will be taken by Lewis Hall in towards the far post, headed down towards goal by Chalobah. He appeals for handball deep inside the 6-yard area. Nothing is given. A Chelsea player has stayed down inside the penalty area. The play continues with United attacking on this near side. They're right with Antony. Now wide to Wan-Bissaka. Chelsea just short-handed at the back at the moment as Antony with a mazy dribble up towards the edge of the penalty area, goes down, challenged by Chalobah, no free kick is given. Antony has gone down apparently in some pain inside the area, waving towards the medical team, now slapping the ground in pain, but Stuart Atwell allows play to continue until Wan-Bissaka puts it out on this near side.
Yeah, he's riding in agony, Antony, after that challenge from Trevor Chalobah. He really did wrap his foot around that. You just wonder whether Antony has rolled an ankle perhaps in the challenge. You hope not.
Well, it's currently Manchester United 1, Chelsea 0 for the latest odds. Head to Ladbrokes, where right now you can get United at 4-1 on, Chelsea at 10-1, the draw 24-5. All thanks to Ladbrokes. Play at ladbrokes.com, 18 plus, begambleaware.org. Well, Antony has been clutching his right ankle on this near side, and it will be a concern for Erik ten Hag, of course, with the cup final coming up in a week and a half's time. And it did seem the challenge from Chalobah was fair enough.
Oh, he got the ball, that's for sure. He really did hook his foot around to get the ball. Like I said, you just wonder whether in the challenge he's rolled his ankle, which can easily happen in those moments, but he looks in a lot of pain, I have to say.
Well, Wesley Fofana was the Chelsea player who was down inside the penalty area at the other end, and this doesn't look good for Antony because the stretcher has been called for on this near side, and now the paramedic team are heading onto the field of play as well.
He looks very, very upset. I think he's in tears, Antony. He feels like there's something really serious happened to him, and they're being very, very careful with him, very gentle with the way that they're just making sure they move him into a position to be able to put him on the stretcher. It's not ever nice to see such a thing.
Marcus Rashford is warming up on this near side. During this break, Erik ten Hag has been talking to Jadon Sancho just in front of us in some detail here at Old Trafford. We're just watching the replay again now. Chalobah, well, he won the ball, and then it seemed that Antony really felt the pain as he fell to ground.
Yeah, I think possibly it's one of those nasty ones where, as the challenge is made, your trailing foot as the attacker almost gets, sat on as such within the challenge, and then your ankle goes underneath you. It can be very, very painful, and you just hope it's not as serious as he clearly feels it is.
Well, it's always a difficult time for players in this sort of situation with massive games coming up. The prize is so big, an FA Cup final for a young player, and at the moment Antony seems to have brushed aside the stretcher. He's back on his feet, but it's fairly clear he won't be carrying on here, and Marcus Rashford is getting ready to come on. He can barely put any weight on his right foot at all. Now he's gone back on his haunches, and he may need to be carried off here.
Yeah, I think he has to. I think it's that shock that sort of hits you as a player. You think, actually, no, can I be okay? You stand up, maybe feel that pain, and rightly so, he's now being helped from the pitch as they just strap him in.
And this is a very sad sight for Antony on such a pleasant, warm, early summer's evening here. He is currently being very carefully put onto the stretcher. He's got his hands across his face. He looks to be in tears. And Antony now will be carried off down the tunnel here at Old Trafford. Sympathetic applause from all sides, including a number of the Chelsea supporters away to our right. And Erik ten Hag, Antony, and all concerned at Manchester United will just be hoping that this is not as bad as it first appears.
Of course, our best wishes to Antony. We don't want that to be a bad injury. Obviously, the realisation, I'm sure, as well, that he's likely to miss a real important final, again, can be very upsetting.
Well, Marcus Rashford will be coming on. 29 goals this season, but only 2 in his previous 10 games in the Premier League. But it's an unexpectedly early return for him here tonight, with 28 minutes played on TalkSport. And I'm sure that Rashford would have only been used sparingly here tonight, ideally for Erik ten Hag, but really his hand has been forced, and Rashford goes over onto the left and Sancho is now on the right.
And I think, though, they must feel he's fit enough, because you've got Garnacho on the bench. You could have brought him on and saved Rashford if you thought, well, we can only really give him 20 minutes. So as far as the Manchester United medical staff and management are concerned, he was pretty much ready to play 90 minutes, but they were maybe being a little bit more cautious. But he's on now.
Lindelof steps in before Havertz, midway inside the United half. A long ball played forward looking for Rashford, but Azpilicueta gets there first to hook the ball away.
Yeah, he's thinking cheers.
Well, time may be running out for Cesar Azpilicueta, but he'll be tested by one of the best of the current breed here in the remainder of this game at Old Trafford. As Chelsea clear, Madueke infield towards Gallagher. Everything for them is coming down that far side, the right. Now Madueke again, Chukwuemeka. And there have been 1 or 2 promising signs for Chelsea. Defensively, of course, they've not been too good, but they have moved the ball forward quite sweetly. Young players here looking to be expansive.
Yeah, sharp, haven't they? In possession, good movement, good energy about the forward players so far. They've asked a few questions, and really they should have been at least level with that Mudryk chance. So there are at least some positive signs for Chelsea.
Madueke wide towards Azpilicueta. Havertz back towards Madueke again. It's a good run into the penalty area from him, then he just gets closed down at the crucial moment. Azpilicueta opens out the angle here for Chukwuemeka, who can break towards the edge of the penalty area on the right. Now Madueke digs out the cross, but it's headed away by Casemiro, and Chelsea will have a throw-in. On a couple of occasions now, there has been an opportunity for Madueke to cross the ball in, and it's not quite happened. It's now Hull KR 4, Wigan 4 in the Super League, and there's commentary on that game over on TalkSport 2. If you download the TalkSport app, you can either listen to the football here or the Super League over on TalkSport 2, and the app will be very handy on Sunday afternoon when we have 6 Premier League games on offer for you. 4 of those will be only available on the app, with Leicester against West Ham on TalkSport and Leeds against Spurs on TalkSport 2. Now Sancho comes forward now down the centre, fighting Martial, but he just slips at the crucial moment, and Chalobah is able to nip in and get the ball away.
Oh, he's having a shocker at the moment, Martial. Again, a brilliant break. That one killer pass was needed, and he just slips over. You can look at your boots, you've got to have the right footwear on.
Now Hall has been released by Enzo Fernandez for Chelsea down the left. The crossing is a good one, but a stooping Havertz heads it wide at the Stretford end.
That's what they've been really good at, Chelsea. When they've broken, they've made sure that they've got a few numbers in the middle, right between the 2 centre-backs, and it's happened 2 or 3 times now. Lovely ball in from Lewis Hall, right on the money for Kai Havertz, who, like you said, just stoops low, just in front of the 6-yard box, and just gets his angles all wrong. It's just a really, really poor attempt from Kai Havertz. He's just got to guide that in towards David De Gea's feet. Instead, he tries to hammer it towards the near post and gets it horribly wrong.
Well, United do have the best home defence in the Premier League this season. 11 clean sheets, only 8 conceded here, but Chelsea have had 3 very good chances here so far tonight. 13 minutes to play in the first half here on TalkSport. As Martial has it for United in the centre circle, plays it wide to Shaw down the left, and further wide towards Rashford. Azpilicueta backpedaling. Rashford breezes beyond him deep into the penalty area. It's now cleared away as far as Bruno Fernandes. He goes down under the challenge of Fofana, and he's remained down as well inside the penalty area. Stuart Atwell has waved away any penalty appeals for now, and Bruno Fernandes is just clutching his left Achilles here, but he looks to be okay.
I think he gets his foot trodden on. It's as simple as that. I think Fofana treads on his toes effectively. It's whether the the officials think that that's enough contact to warrant a penalty. I'd be very, very surprised if this was to be given.
Well, Michael Salisbury may be called into action once again here at Stockley Park. It was Chuck Remaker who was initially with him. Yeah, then Fofana did clip his left heel.
Yeah, it wasn't a challenge. It's just the way his foot movements have almost collided with Fernandez and he hits the back of his heel. It's not a penalty.
If there was a check, it was over very quickly. We're back underway here at Old Trafford on TalkSport, where Manchester United lead Chelsea by a goal to nil. Bruno Fernandes with a ball flipped forward looking for Sancho, but it's beyond him and it's claimed by Kepa.
And Erik ten Hag, he's furious, and he should be. You know, Chelsea are there for the taking. You've allowed them 3 chances, which shouldn't be happening. And then also, when you've had some great opportunities, you've been so wasteful. You can see he's incredibly vexed down there on the touchline, sort of almost talking to himself as if to what is happening for his side when they should be 3 up.
Czech Remaker now with a powerful run into the penalty area down the right. The crossing is blocked by the back of Bruno Fernandes. United try and get the ball clear. Azpilicueta almost wins it back, but now United smartly can break. And a turn from Casemiro looks to release the run of Bruno Fernandes on the far side. Rashford just holds his run and then darts forward down the left. Sancho checks to stay onside. Martial waits in the centre, but here is Sancho beyond 1 and then 2. Right-footed shot though is blocked by Chalobah. Eriksen gathers for United, square to Bruno Fernandes again, like a conductor leading the orchestra here, finding Rashford, who steps in field onto his right foot, but he's crowded out, but he's managed to find Eriksen. And here is Wan-Bissaka. United very narrow here, but Casemiro miscontrols inside the area, and it's swept away by Azpilicueta once again, who looks to be blowing here. Cesar Azpilicueta having to deal with Marcus Rashford on the far side.
Hands on his knees, no time to relax. Cesar. Manchester United so dangerous on the break, such pace and trickery from their players.
Well, Casemiro has now been challenged by Gallagher on this near side. It's only a throw-in in the end as we enter the final 10 minutes of the first half here. And this has not really had an end-of-season feel about it. The crowd have been involved as Havertz drags Varane to the ground, and it will be a free kick to Manchester United, and both teams are having a go. I think Chelsea believe that the best form of defence is attack here.
Yeah, a couple of times when they've won the ball, you've seen Frank Lampard almost say it, get forwards, get up the pitch and try and get the numbers you require when you're looking to attack sides on the break. You need to get numbers and try and outnumber the Manchester United defence, and they've done it well at times.
And you're listening to Man United against Chelsea on TalkSport with Car Finance 24/7. Search Car Finance 24/7 today. Manchester United unbeaten in their previous 10 Premier League games against Chelsea, although 7 of those have been drawn. If they avoid defeat here tonight, it will be their best ever run against Chelsea in their league history. Chelsea haven't won in the Premier League since November of 2017, when Alvaro Morata scored the only goal at Stamford Bridge, and it's now only 2 wins in the previous 14 games, and both of those have come at Wembley in an FA Cup semi-final and the final in 2018. And United here have been much the better side, but it's still only 1-0 with 8 minutes to play in the first half, and here are the thoughts of Dean Ashton.
I think Manchester United have got themselves into good positions. It's no surprise really where we're at with this game. Both sides well underperformed their XG this season, and I'm talking well underperforming both sides. I mean, Manchester United scored 52 for a 60 XG, and Chelsea 36 for a 45 XG. I mean, they're just way underperforming the chances they create, and we've seen it here right in front of our eyes that they're wasteful in those big opportunities, those big moments where that quality's needed. They've both lacked it actually.
But Chelsea facing a team who are 27 games unbeaten here at Old Trafford, and they've now scored 60 goals in that run. Real Sociedad, the last side to win here on match day 1 of the Europa League back on September the 8th, and Brighton, the only side to win a Premier League game here on the opening day. Mudryk now for Chelsea, looking to work a 1-2 at Havertz and break into the penalty area. He then goes down, but he was off balance. Half-hearted appeals for handball from Havertz as United clear, but Chelsea now have it back with Fofana. And now Chukwuemeka. Enzo Fernandez looks to his right. He was looking for movement down the right, but Azpilicueta stayed where he was, so it's a short ball to Chalobah and further wide towards Lewis Hall again, a player who's shown up well here so far. England under-19 international. They had a very good summer, winning their Euro 12 months ago. Now Havertz coming in field, pings in a left-footed shot which is blocked by Casemiro, and it will spin away on the far side.
I've got to say, Mudryk, he does show the odd sign of sheer brilliance, raw speed, and he did in that little run that he just had. All of a sudden, he makes people look like they're stood still, and they're not. He's got such incredible acceleration, good footwork, lovely couple of 1-2s there, nearly got himself into a goal-scoring position.
Well, he scored 3 excellent goals for Shakhtar in the group stage of the Champions League, but he's clearly a confidence player, as Mudryk now looks to skip away from Wan-Bissaka, really bearing out Keane's point as it bobbles away from him and behind for a goal kick. But when he was at Shakhtar on form, he was the main man. Everybody knew it. He comes here to Chelsea. He's one of a busload of players to arrive at the same time. Doesn't know the country. He's come from a country in a very difficult situation, and all those things will weigh on your mind.
Yeah, it would do, and you can tell he's not really got that genuine confidence, even with that touch there. Lovely pass into him, horrendous touch, completely kicks it out of play, and a goal kick to Manchester United, and another frustrating watch, I'm sure, for those Chelsea supporters over to our right-hand side, because they've had some good moments, but just lacked conviction, lacked confidence, lacked quality.
He cost £88.5 million, Mykhailo Mudryk, and that's not his fault, but that's another millstone around his neck.
It is. I think I've seen a few glimpses where you just think, wow, this kid could be just a ridiculous player.
Well, let's hope he finds his form and finds his confidence next season. As it's back from Azpilicueta.
Also, sorry, Nige, just a little clip there where Chelsea were trying to play up from the back. Manchester United are so far off when it comes to trying to press. Bruno Fernandes is normally the trigger, but they don't all go at once. They really don't. I think that's something that can be really improved upon from Ten Hag's point of view. When they press, they do it as a proper team, not as one or two.
Now Chukwuemeka with a really enterprising run down the centre. Wide towards Madueke for Chelsea on the right. He cuts back in field, the cross high to the far post, headed away by Wan-Bissaka, recovered by Hall. He now gets it back from Havertz inside the penalty area. Mudryk square towards Enzo Fernandez. Chukwuemeka and Madueke again, looking to go on the outside this time. A low ball in. Gallagher though miscontrols. The ball was actually behind him on the edge of the 6-yard area, and United will scramble the ball away. And now Bruno Fernandes seemingly takes his eye off it and gives it back to Chukwuemeka. Enzo Fernandez now, the ball in field towards Havertz, flicks it into the path of Mudryk, and Chelsea again building on the far side. Mudryk trying to deliver a cross into the penalty area, balloons into the path of Lewis Hall. He drives it low, but it's blocked at the near post by Wan-Bissaka. And United here are giving the ball away with regularity. Bruno Fernandes was closed down there by Chalobah, and as the ball spun away on this near side, the final touch was off the United captain, and it will be a throw into Chelsea. And they're fortunate, United, here, that Chelsea haven't pulled level.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it was good block by Wan-Bissaka in the end, but too often they've allowed to be out running that midfield, and actually their default position is just to drop. So Casemiro drops, Eriksen drops, because they haven't got that energy to go and close necessarily as a pair. So they just drop really deep and just then allow that space out wide for Chelsea, who have again been in some good positions.
3 minutes to play in the first half here on TalkSport. United leading by 1-0. Casemiro scoring after 6 minutes. United have not conceded in their previous 6 Premier League games here. They've become a very tough nut to crack. Incredibly, 41% of the goals they've conceded this season have come in 3 games. At Brentford, where they let 4 in, At Manchester City, where they let 6 in, and of course at Liverpool, where they let 7 in. Apart from that, they've been pretty secure. But Chelsea moving forward again now with Chukwuemeka, has done really well in the first half. Now Havertz back towards Enzo Fernandez. It's clipped wide towards this near side. Mudryk looking to gather, but it's cleared away by Wan-Bissaka, and it's quickly won back by Gallagher.
Yeah, you can sense it in the United crowd, can't you? In terms of their frustration at giving the ball away, being loose with the pass.
Now a flick releasing Gallagher on the edge of the penalty, a right footed curler from him, but it was always set just too far outside that right hand post, and it drifts harmlessly wide.
Yeah, decent little Cruyff flick from Azpilicueta, who'd got forward to link up. Gallagher then onto his right foot. David De Gea could have stood in the stand, to be honest, and watched that. He just stood there and watched that sail handsomely wide of his left hand post. Poor from Gallagher.
Well, it's been a similar game in some respects to what happened on Sunday, because of course City scored the early goal and then Chelsea did okay, and they've maybe done slightly better than okay here moving forward tonight, but United have not been able to pick them off. And here is an opportunity for Eriksen on the far side. Chukwuemeka comes across to make the challenge, and Eriksen is forced out, but United do have the throw-in, but it quickly comes to nothing, and Madueke will bring it clear for Chelsea on the far side. Coming in field, just stumbles, and he was clipped there by a retreating Casemiro, and it will be a free kick.
Again, just sloppy from Eriksen, looking to play the quick throw-in. His teammates weren't ready, and then you chase it back towards your own goal. I think they found it hard work in that midfield area against the likes of Chukwuemeka, who's been brilliant, Madueke as well, who's away now.
A minimum of 6 added minutes at the end of the first half. Enzo Fernandez forward towards Gallagher, but he tracks it wide. What a chance for Chelsea again. Conor Gallagher clean through, great vision by Enzo Fernandez, and Gallagher fails to hit the target.
Oh, it's a brilliant move from Chelsea. I love the way that they just played that in. They sucked Lindelof out of position and then played that ball in towards Gallagher, who had just spotted that gap. He made that run into that space just inside Shaw, who didn't really spot the run from Gallagher. Took a lovely touch with his right foot and then went across David De Gea, as you should do. But you watch that ball, watch the way it rotates, because he just bobbles it. He hits the top of the ball and you can just see then it's rotating over his head and wide of the post. It's a poor effort once again, just to add to the lack of quality in this game.
Well, the Chelsea fans exasperated away to our right, because they've had more chances in this game than Manchester United. We've had one effort on target, Casemiro shouldering the ball in to score the only goal so far. But Chelsea should be ahead.
Yeah, they should. I mean, we're not talking about average chances, we're talking about really clear chances. Mudryk, now Gallagher, Havertz with the header, they're clear-cut chances, and they haven't even tested the goalkeeper.
Well, Chelsea with 65% of the possession so far. 5 efforts, none on target. United have had 2, 1 on target. That was the goal. Free kick, which is played short to Varane, who brings it forward for United on this near side. Now Wan-Bissaka. And Varane again, checking away from Mudryk. Lovely football. Sancho just in front of us on this near side. United attacking the old scoreboard end away to our right in the first half here. And the sun is just about set behind the Stretford end on the far side. Still a very pleasantly warm evening here in Greater Manchester. But United, not for the first time recently, are just getting the job done, but they've been helped out by some profligate finishing from Chelsea. As Hall does really well to control a dropping ball over his shoulder and then bring the ball clear. Enzo Fernandez was caught by Bruno Fernandes, and it will be a free kick.
Just taking a little bit of a risk, Enzo Fernandez. Well, I thought it was a foul though. Bruno Fernandes just easing him off the ball.
And we are nearly 3 minutes into 6 added minutes. The delay caused by the injury to Antony, who was stretchered off after 28 minutes here to be replaced by Marcus Rashford. Looked to be an injury to the right ankle, and we will get news live from the tunnel at the end of this game on the severity of that injury as Wan-Bissaka slides in to win it back from Gallagher, who stays down for Chelsea. And now there's an opportunity for Sancho to break towards the edge of the penalty area. He's got options left and right, and in the end he plays it behind Eriksen, and Chelsea bring the ball clear. Gallagher only just getting back to his feet, but now Fofana lays it wide to the far side, behind. By the way, Kane, it's out of play for a goal kick, and at times we've had the quality of an under-8s game on an icy pitch.
Yeah, you're right. Honestly, it's one of the worst games of football I've seen in terms of simple things done poorly. A bad touch, the wrong pass, playing out of play. I mean, these are elite level professional footballers. I don't understand how you can be this bad with such the most simplest of tasks.
Well, neither manager looks particularly happy at the moment. Erik ten Hag has retreated to his bench. He spent much of the first half stalking the technical area. Frank Lampard has only come out towards the edge of the pitch sporadically, so Anthony Taylor, the fourth official, has had quite an easy evening so far, and it's been one of those games where we've had excitement, but so much of it has been caused by errors.
Yeah, I mean, but we should see goals. You know, we probably should have seen 4 goals in this half with the chances that have been created.
A scoreline of maybe 2-1 to Chelsea would not flatter them on balance of play, but as it is, United lead here. We're just over a minute of added time to play in the first half. Bruno Fernandes challenged by Enzo Fernandez, but it breaks for Casemiro. Lovely ball clipped in towards Sancho. That's the second score by Martial. And on the stroke of half-time, Manchester United have surely sealed a place in the Champions League. Chelsea undone defensively once again, and Martial, who has had a haphazard first half, eventually comes up with a headline moment, and it's Manchester United 2, Chelsea 0.
And when you haven't had a good half as a centre forward, what do you need? You need a tap-in from 2 yards, and Sancho does that. It's a lovely little dinked pass from Casemiro into Sancho's path. I don't know where the Chelsea defence were, by the way. Chalobah gets sucked out of position. Hall's not tucking in as left back. Sancho just runs in, and he then just waits for Anthony Martial. He just passes it across. Simplest of tasks for Martial to tap in. And that's what you do as a centre forward. You can be absolutely awful, and then you stick one in the back of the net from 2 yards. Lovely.
That's what you did throughout your career.
And I loved it, thanks. Goal bonus, tick.
It was a lovely no-look flick as well from Casemiro to release Sancho. That's the moment of quality. And Chelsea's defensive line came out in instalments.
Yeah, it did. I mean, he's a young player, 18 years old, Lewis Hall, but he's got to recognise the danger there. He's got to tuck right in, and he didn't. He was late to judge the pass.
So United lead by 2 goals to 0. Here is Sancho again looking to release Martial down the centre. And this 45 minutes has really epitomised Chelsea's season. They've had their moments, but they can't score and they can't defend, and that is a pretty ropey combination.
Yeah, it doesn't make good viewing, does it, from a Chelsea point of view? Frustrating half.
There goes the half-time whistle, and the home crowd rise to acclaim their team. They are on their way to the Champions League. Liverpool are on their way to the Europa League. Casemiro scoring an early goal. Use of the shoulder to finish off a free kick, whipped in, and then Anthony Martial deep into added time at the end of the first half, turning in a cross from Jadon Sancho. Chelsea had 4 really good opportunities between the 2 goals, but their finishing was wayward. Their defending has been wayward, and as a result at half-time, Manchester United lead by 2 goals to 0. Thank you, Hugh. And it's United who get the second half underway, attacking the Stretford end away to our left-hand side. Darkness hasn't quite descended here yet at Old Trafford as we approach the longest day of the year. United in their red shirts and white shorts, and Chelsea in all blue, approaching the end of what must feel like their longest season for a long time, because it started off poorly and has got worse, although they have lost 13 of 30 games since Thomas Tuchel departed. Under him they lost 11 of 63, and you just wonder, Dean, if they'd kept hold of him, if they'd maybe backed him, if they'd had words, would things have been any worse with Thomas Tuchel as coach as they have been without him?
Of course not. But they reacted and felt that it was the right decision. It wasn't the right decision, of course not. And now, you know, you're looking at these, they can't be any worse. I suppose that's the only shining light, is you think these players cannot be worse than what they have been. So whoever comes in, if you get it right, there are a lot of quality players there. We know the quality, they've shown it previously.
Now an opportunity for Lindelof, who wins it back, and he plays it square to Sancho. Sancho laid back to Bruno Fernandes, and he curls the shot against the top of the crossbar, and it spins high into the Stretford end. And Chelsea there just gave the ball away so simply, and United should be 3-0 up.
They showed Bruno Fernandes getting on the end of a really unselfish pass from Sancho. When they broke, it was Lindelof who caught Gallagher out of possession. Lovely pass in towards Sancho. He just lays it off to Bruno Fernandes, and I don't know why he's trying to rip the leather off the ball. Just pass it into the goal. He's trying to absolutely whack it, and he does, right off the corner of crossbar and post. Another golden chance missed.
Havertz with a crossfield ball looking for Hall, and it's cleared away by United. A reminder of their team again: Tyrell Malacia coming on for Luke Shaw at half-time. Earlier Anthony was stretching off and Marcus Rashford came on for him, so it's De Gea in goal. The back four is now Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Lindelof and Malacia. Casemiro and Eriksen holding in midfield. It is Sancho on the right, Rashford on the left, with Bruno Fernandes in the 10 role and Anthony Martial up front. The Chelsea team: Kepa in goal, Azpilicueta, Fofana, Chalobah and Hall, Fernandes, Gallagher and Chukwuemeka in midfield, Madueke and Mudryk either side of Havertz in attack. Nearly 3 minutes played in the second half here at Old Trafford on TalkSport. United leading by 2-0, and at the moment they are cruising back into the Champions League. So all the drama on the final day will surround the relegation battle, and we will have everything covered on TalkSport. Adrian Durham presenting Game Day Live from Goodison Park. A win for Everton and they will be safe against Bournemouth. If they slip up, then there is hope for Leicester at home to West Ham. That is live on TalkSport. And Leeds at home to Spurs. That will be live on TalkSport too, with 4 more games available on the TalkSport app. Now Madueke coming forward for Chelsea on this near side, and he's challenged by Casemiro. The assistant on this near side was initially going to give a goal kick, but then the ball bounced off the corner flag before it reached him, so he anticipated it and in the end had to give a throw in.
Yeah, another good bit of play though from Casemiro. So clever at that, just spotting the danger, running out of that midfield position into the full-back area, winning his team a throw-in. I know it seems a simple thing, but it's so crucial for your centre-backs.
And the Chelsea fans away to our right-hand side. They've still sold out their allocation here. They're all stood up in the safe standing area of Old Trafford. And 1 or 2 of the Chelsea players, including João Felix, were warming up at half-time as Bruno Fernandes plays it forward looking for Sanchez, but it's guided away by Hall and then cleared by Kepa on the far side. And Lewis Hall was caught out for the second goal, but he's got forward well, and I could imagine that a team maybe with 3 central defenders, he would be a very handy player.
I agree, yeah. Huge promise. And again, just that's coaching, is that error that he made for the second goal.
And now an opportunity for Mudryk to cut in field from the left-hand side. Real pace for him up to the edge of the penalty area, and the shot took a deflection, and in the end De Gea had to readjust and turn the ball behind for a corner kick.
Made a lot of that, didn't he, David De Gea? Wasn't at pace. They're taking it quickly though, Chelsea.
Short to Mudryk, in towards Gallagher, and it's wasted, cleared away by Malacia.
Yeah, it was just good play from Mudryk, good pace, opened up for him. Strike was pathetic, I have to say, another bobbling effort, but De Gea just made a lot of it. I think maybe, like you say, because of deflection, maybe felt he had to push it round the post.
5 minutes into the second half, Manchester United 2, Chelsea 0. Madueke comes in field again from the right, finding Enzo Fernandez, who clips it wide to the far side, the Chelsea left, and Hall. Now Chalobah, and Enzo Fernandez takes over once again, and Chelsea here very steadily but surely are heading backwards. Now Fofana inside the centre circle. Enzo Fernandez with a good ball forward to release Gallagher. Down this near side, Frank Lampard stands both arms outstretched on the edge of the technical area as Havertz comes in field, heads into traffic. Eriksen wins it back for United. Now there are 5 forward in this break. Eriksen carrying the ball deep into the Chelsea half. Square towards Bruno Fernandes on the right. High to the far post. Rashford doing well to control it. Lovely, sumptuous first touch from him to bring the ball under control. Slip down the line for Wan-Bissaka, the right back, popping up on the left-hand side of midfield. And then it's clipped high across the penalty area, wide to the far side. Malacia filling in for Wan-Bissaka, and here is Casemiro on to Enzo Fernandez, and Malacia with a great ball into the penalty area. Wan-Bissaka cutting inside, firing the shot which is deflected away. Malacia squirts it out towards Rashford now inside the penalty area. Rashford on again to Malacia, driven across, it must be a third. Somehow it's scrambled away, and somehow Eriksen failed to score. Then Casemiro fills it in, and it's just wide.
I mean, how did that not go in? It was a great ball across from Malacia, and Eriksen actually, he gets ahead of the ball, so it then is behind him, and he just tries to scoop it with the toe of his left foot, and it dribbled towards the line. Of fair play to Kepa, because he really did shuffle across his goal, didn't give it up and palmed it away, and then when it came out to Casemiro, he just tried to caress it into that corner and was probably a foot wide. But how did Eriksen get ahead of the ball there?
Well, Kepa did really well in the end. We're just watching the replay now because Eriksen had such a good opportunity to score his first Premier League goal since November. There is a Chelsea player down. It's Azpilicueta again inside the penalty area receiving treatment. But United there could have scored about 4 separate occasions.
They could, I know. But Eriksen, it didn't really take much of a deflection either for Eriksen. He just got in too early and then couldn't adjust his body.
Well, Azpilicueta is hobbling away towards this near side. And will Chelsea be forced into their first change here? It's incredible. They've one win in 18 games this season against sides in the top half of the table, Chelsea. That was against Newcastle. Against Aston Villa back in October. They've got Newcastle coming up on Sunday. And there is a real prospect they could have their lowest finish in the Premier League since 1994.
But you can see why, with performances such as this, to be as wasteful and as poor defensively. It's just that recipe to be a very, very average team.
Well, there's no doubt about that at times. A team which is worth far more on paper than it is out on the pitch at the moment, as Rashford has just gone down on the halfway line, clutching the small of his back. Placing to stop for a second, but Chelsea kept the ball in play, and eventually Stuart Atwell did stop play, but then restarted with a drop ball to Chelsea.
Yeah, just didn't take a breath. Manchester United fans clearly don't want him to be injured, and just coming back as well. I think it was just a bit of a knee to the back, to be honest.
Well, Anthony, of course, going off in the first half. That looked to be a nasty injury. We'll get reaction live from the tunnel during the sports bar on TalkSport later on this evening. And we'll bring you news of Anthony, and we also asked Frank Lampard about what he was saying pre-match about Mason Mount and his belief that his future may well be away from Chelsea at the end of the season, as Mudryk comes forward again. He's a real box of tricks when he gets on the ball, and he was hacked down there by Wan-Bissaka, and Chelsea will have a free kick.
Yeah, he's so quick, isn't he? Rapido, Mudryk. even too quick for Wan-Bissaka. So good at those sliding challenges, but Mudryk too quick.
Free kick for Chelsea. And looking ahead, Pochettino is the sort of coach we've seen previously, Dean, who could get the best out of players like Mudryk, because he does seem to be the sort of coach who can maybe put an arm around a player and make them feel good about themselves.
Here he goes again.
Here is Mudryk again now with a break into the penalty area. A low ball right through the 6-yard area beyond Havertz and Madueke. It's recovered by Azpilicueta, back towards Chukwuemeka. And now Gallagher again. Chukwuemeka taking over. Here is Enzo Fernandez. And Chelsea still looking to build here. Azpilicueta down the right-hand side, back towards Gallagher. Azpilicueta around the corner for Gallagher, hits the byline, delivers the cross in, and it's glanced away at the far post by Wan-Bissaka, and Sancho has the opportunity to clear, and it's a lovely reverse ball from him back towards Wan-Bissaka, and United now can break over the halfway line. Sancho in full flight momentarily, but Hall is able to keep up with it.
And that's what Manchester United actually want. They want to draw Chelsea onto them, and then when they break with real pace and numbers and open Chelsea up.
Over on TalkSport 2 in the Super League, Wigan lead Hull KR 14-10 at New Craven Park at the moment, as Rashford is challenged again on the edge of the penalty area by Chukwuemeka, and he stayed down, but Chelsea will play on here with Madueke. Sprawling challenge from Malacia though, and Malacia eventually brought Madueke down. Last season that was fine order against PSV in the Eredivisie, but it's a free kick for Chelsea here.
Marcus Rashford felt like he should have had one at the other end, and Ten Hag feels the same, but then Malacia just trying to challenge from the wrong side, and it's got to be perfect if you're going to do that, and it wasn't. He took out the player before the ball.
Good noise around Old Trafford with 57 minutes played. United leading here by 2-0. The free kick played short by Enzo Fernandez into the penalty area from Azpilicueta down the right, and it's guarded behind by Malacia for a corner.
Again, just weren't alive to the situation. Eriksen and Malacia having a little chat with each other. Whose man was that? Azpilicueta just running down the line, completely free.
Lewis Hall gets a great ovation from the Chelsea supporters in this near corner as he looks to take a corner kick here at the scoreboard end for Chelsea. Short again to Enzo Fernandez. Hall continues his run, and he's onside deep into the penalty area, fires in the shot, and it's beaten away at the near post. Mudryk with the return, it took a deflection, and it's a save for the cameras from De Gea as he clutches on.
No, why not? The first save's a decent one because it comes through a ruck of bodies at real pace, and he just manages to parry it out all the way to the edge of the box, and then Mudryk's strike, the sting is taken out of it by the deflection from the defender, and then De Gea was there ready. Maybe just a little glance to the camera to say, get this one for my reel.
And you're listening to Man United against Chelsea on TalkSport with Now Sports. And don't forget, with Now Sports you can stream all the Sky Sports action like this game right now, live for $11.99 with no contract. Search Now Sports. Nearly 59 minutes played here, live from Old Trafford on TalkSport, live and exclusive to national radio. It is Manchester United 2, Chelsea 0. So Manchester United are sealing a Champions League place here tonight and consigning Liverpool for sure to the Europa League next season on Sunday. The programme coming live from Goodison Park, a win for Everton against Bournemouth, they will be safe. Leicester against West Ham will be live on TalkSport. Leeds against Spurs will be on TalkSport 2 with 4 other games on the TalkSport app. And we also have all 3 playoff finals from the EFL live on the TalkSport network this weekend. Madueke now cuts it back for Chelsea, but the ball is cut out by Malacia. And now Rashford speeding away from Gallagher deep into the Chelsea half. He's got Bruno Fernandes in space to his left. Bruno Fernandes into the penalty, cuts it back, but it's behind Rashford, and we've seen that happen on so many occasions from both sides, and Chelsea clear.
I don't really get it, if I'm honest. I don't get why Bruno Fernandes wouldn't take that on himself, just take it out of his feet and score.
Now Madueke for Chelsea, going down inside the penalty area. over the challenge of Casemiro. He appeals for handball, for a foul and a penalty, but nothing given, and United bring the ball clear. Frank Lampard is talking to Anthony Taylor, the fourth official. We'll wait and see what Michael Salisbury at Stockley Park thinks about that. The ball is still alive inside the Chelsea area until Kepa clears the ball away.
It's a shambolic game in terms of quality, honestly. Absolutely shambolic. But it's made for actually quite good entertainment in the end. It has.
It's not one for the purist, is it?
Who can be the worst? Who can be the worst tonight in terms of the wrong pass, the bad pass, the wrong choice? It's been ridiculous.
But from a neutral point of view, at least it's kept our attention. We've seen a lot of Chelsea-Man United games be rather stalemates in recent years, and this hasn't been one of those. Now Chukwuemeka for Chelsea. Wide towards Azpilicueta. Frank Lampard looking for Gallagher to make the run to the right, which he does, but the ball never finds him. And here is Chalobah once again. And the game just slows to walking pace for a moment as Fofana brings it forward. Then he plays it wide to Azpilicueta. Madueke makes the burst into the penalty area. The cross is beyond him. Havertz with the header, but it's one bounce into the arms of De Gea.
That's a decent ping ball from Azpilicueta. Flat delivery just over the top of Varane. Havertz was there. No conviction though in the header, was there? I think he was more worried about in case he got a tooth knocked out on the back of Varane's head. Sometimes you've just got to head through those, painful as they might be. That's where you're going to get the power to take it past David De Gea.
Just watching a replay of the Casemiro challenge on Madueke. Well, there was contact.
There was, but I thought that Madueke made the contact himself. He saw the legs was there and he put his own legs into the challenge.
A couple of changes imminent for Chelsea. Christian Pulisic and Joao Felix are the players who will be coming on. Azpilicueta on this near side, forced back by Malacia towards the halfway line. 62 minutes played. Don't forget, on Saturday, 4:45, Coventry against Luton, the playoff championship final, live and exclusive to national radio on Talk Sport. Adrian Durham, Sam Matterface, Dean and Ian Holloway will be our team inside Wembley as Sancho brings it forward now for United down the far side there right. Martial and Rashford wait in the centre. Short towards Bruno Fernandes. Rashford peels away demanding the ball, but here is Rashford on the right hand side of the penalty area, forced wide by the pace of the pass. Back again towards Wan-Bissaka. And on the break now, Chelsea look vulnerable every time United cross the halfway line.
Yeah, they do, don't they? I mean, they keep exposing the two centre-backs. Full-backs just cannot get back into position. Again, Manchester United, wrong decision, poor pass from Bruno Fernandes.
Rashford with a cross into the penalty area, looking for Martial, but it's cleared away by Fofana. And Azpilicueta on this near side just hammers it straight out of play. Erik ten Hag appreciates the pressure on this near side from Malacia, and it will be a double change for Chelsea. Joao Felix coming on for Kai Havertz, who just bows his head and looks rather disappointed as he makes the short walk off. And Mykhailo Mudryk is the other player withdrawn, and it's Christian Pulisic who will come on for him. Havertz just kicks away at a water bottle, I think, as he heads towards the Chelsea bench. Mudryk making less of a reaction, let's say, as Pulisic comes on. And Joao Felix, it seems, will play down the middle.
I mean, the only thing I would say is, can Havertz genuinely say, I don't deserve to be taken off? Because if he does think that, then he's completely deluded.
He's had chances, and we've seen one or two flicks from him, maybe one or two too many flicks at a time when Chelsea just needed to hold on to the ball. 64 minutes played here on Talk Sport. United 2, Chelsea 0. The Champions League places finally sorted out here at Old Trafford this evening. 14-all now over on Talk Sport 2 between Hull KR and Wigan in Super League, as Pulisic turns and plays it back towards Kepa, his goalkeeper, defending the Stretford end away to our left-hand side, and in the end Chelsea try and play out, and it was a awkward ball for Chelsea to control, and it was a back heel, I think, from Enzo Fernandez, which went straight out of play.
The fans here, they're not happy with Martial. He's just completely miscontrolled another opportunity. He's just...
One or two here are not having him.
No.
Now Enzo Fernandez with a lung-busting run forward for Chelsea, but in the end Casemiro does what he always does so well. The whole crowd rise to applaud him because he tracked the run, he kept pace with Enzo Fernandez, and he makes the challenge. And it was a nice moment there between the Brazilian and the Argentinian as the ball spins out of play, and I think there's a mutual appreciation there for the two players' abilities. Now Madueke for Chelsea on this near side, the right, infield towards Azpilicueta, who's forced back towards the corner flag by Lindelof, and Rashford again, and in the end the ball spins away off Rashford, and it will be a throw into Chelsea with 66 minutes played here on Talk Sport. Manchester United 2, Chelsea 0 in the Premier League. João Felix for Chelsea on this near side, just knocks it against the outstretched boot of Lindelof, and it will be a corner kick for Chelsea.
It's incredible how deep Manchester United are defending against this Chelsea side, especially in the second half, maybe because of the threat that Chelsea had in the first half. They've become even deeper and they're looking to break from such a deep position.
Corner from Hall, high to the far post, and it's Ababa leaping for Fana, and it curls straight out of play, and that will be a goal kick. We all know why Roman Abramovich left Chelsea, but they got 19 trophies in 19 years when he was the owner. How many years do you feel it could be before they win more silverware?
I mean, if you watch this performance, you think it'll be decades away. But like I said, these players can't be any worse than they are now. I think if you're a manager coming into Chelsea, I think you should be very excited with what's there. I think there's a lot to work with, there's a lot to improve. With young players, they need a coach. They need somebody that's going to mould them and teach them certain aspects of the game, and that's what they need.
If they lose here tonight, it will be 4 points in 10 games under Frank Lampard. Now Gallagher with another burst into the penalty area, and he goes down again under the challenge of Casemiro. João Felix tries to keep the move going, and in the end United will clear. Bruno Fernandes with a raking ball forward, encouraging Marcus Rashford to use his pace, but Azpilicueta does really well to keep up with him and just maybe knock him off his stride and win the ball back for Chelsea inside the box.
Incredible his hamstrings withstood that, says Azpilicueta, because that was Rashford in full flow, and every neck muscle was straining Azpilicueta. Fair play to him, stuck to it, made sure he won that ball.
Currently United 2, Chelsea 0 for the latest odds. Head to Ladbrokes right now. You can get United at 25 to 1 on, Chelsea at 33 to 1. The draw is 14 to 1, all thanks to Ladbrokes. Play at ladbrokes.com, 18 plus, begambleaware.org. 68 minutes played here at Old Trafford. United leading by 2 goals to 0 and heading back to the Champions League unless Chelsea score 3 times in the remaining 22 minutes or so. Bearing in mind, goals have been very difficult for them to come by in recent times. Lowest points tally, lowest goals, lowest league position since the mid-1990s. Money doesn't buy you everything, and clearly £600 million on 18 players doesn't buy you any sort of success if there's no real direction upstairs, and that's something Chelsea will need to address. Double change coming up. Fred and Antonio Garnacho will be coming on, and it's Anthony Martial who will be replaced by Alejandro Garnacho. And Christian Eriksen will be replaced by Fred.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty regular change. Eriksen coming off and a bit of fresh legs coming on. Fred. Garnacho will come out to this left. Marcus Rashford down the middle.
So Fred gets his customary 20 minutes coming off the bench for the 23rd time in the Premier League this season. Now Enzo Fernandez. Wide to the far side again as we tick into the final 20 minutes here. You can have your say on the sports bar this evening. 03717 223344. And we will bring you reaction to this game live from the tunnel here at Old Trafford following 10 o'clock. And I would imagine it'll be a satisfied Eric Ten Hag and the usual downbeat Frank Lampard just waiting for this interim spell to come to an end, and he will move on to other things. Madueke chasing a high ball into the penalty area, cleared by Malacia, briefly into the path of João Felix, but Casemiro is there to win it back, and here is Fred, wide towards Garnacho. He's got space, time and confidence to bring the ball forward. Now Bruno Fernandes, a lovely nutmeg on Fofana. He's challenged inside the penalty area, he goes down, and it's a Manchester United penalty.
It's a poor one from Fofana because he thinks he's got back, and Bruno Fernandes so cleverly just teases the ball between Fofana's legs, and then in his panic to get back he then just tries to stab the ball away, and he catches Bruno Fernandes. It's so clever from the Portuguese midfield player. He's just about missed the ball, I think, Fofana. I think he's so close to this. It's so clever from Bruno Fernandes, and when he tries to get it he just clips his toe, and it's a definite penalty.
The first penalty Chelsea have conceded in the Premier League this season. And it's come in the penultimate game, and Bruno Fernandes will take it. Well, he won it. It was such a cute touch. He scored 4 of his previous 5 penalties, and 2 of the successful ones went low to the goalkeeper's left-hand side. The one he missed went low to the right and was beyond the post. And Bruno Fernandes, taking his usual short run at right-footed, thinks it down the centre. And Manchester United are heading towards Europe's elite competition in some style now. Chelsea's awful season continues to unravel here at Old Trafford here tonight. Bruno Fernandes strokes in the penalty, and Frank Lampard looks set to bookend his time as Chelsea manager with heavy defeats at Old Trafford. Manchester United 3, Chelsea 0.
He's been in a right old grump, hasn't he, Bruno Fernandes? All evening it's getting all a little bit heated, I don't know why.
Enzo Fernandez is having words with Bruno Fernandes, who is being pulled away from that, and now players from both sides are getting involved rather unnecessarily on the edge of the penalty area. Stuart Atwell, the referee, has just stepped away, and I think he's maybe taking some advice here from his officials on the far side, and that was all very unnecessary. I think Enzo Fernandez just a bit frustrated.
Why are you now bothered? It's a bit late for all this, isn't it? You know, you're 3-0 down, you've had a pathetic run of fixtures, it's too late to be showing any discomfort with a celebration in a player scoring a goal. No need for it whatsoever. Why don't you show your real grit and determination in your performance rather than a reaction to the opposition? I just hate that.
Well, Bruno Fernandes was reeling away, and Enzo Fernandez, who quickly got involved with 1 or 2 United players. He's been shown a yellow card for that. And Stuart Atwell is coming across to this near side, and he's also showing a yellow card to Tyrell Malacia as well.
I mean, look, from our vantage point, it's so hard to see what really happened. I mean, it didn't seem a lot to me, really. I don't understand it. No real need for it.
Well, players back underway after all of that. Of course, Frank Lampard lost here 4-0 in his first game in charge of Chelsea back back in August of 2019, and his penultimate game in charge as interim manager. It's currently 3-0, and we still have 15 minutes to play here.
Well, I was saying Bruno Fernandes has been a right old grump. Oh, there could be a way again here.
Bruno Fernandes releasing Garnacho into the penalty area down the right-hand side. Cuts in field, he's just held up. Back to Fred with a curler, it's blocked by Fofana. And it spins away to the far side, and it's cleared downfield by Hall. Taken down very neatly by Joao Felix. And it's a good ball from him to release Gallagher, but it just spins away from him on the turf, and it's claimed by David De Gea.
Yeah, just going back to grumpy Bruno Fernandes. This whole game he's been annoyed, I think, with himself, with his teammates, with the chance that he missed. So even when he scored his penalty, he didn't really celebrate to start with. And in the end, he could just about give himself a smile.
Flipped on by Casemiro, and then an almost arrogant flick from Fernandes to find Garnacho. Fofana slides in to win it back, and Garnacho wins it back, and then he is penalised for the challenge on Fofana.
Yeah, Fofana just read what Garnacho was going to do, stepped across him, felt the shirt tug, and it's good defending actually from Fofana, much better than the way he defended for that penalty.
So the table as it stands, of course, we know that City have won the league and Arsenal have finished second. United 72 points, Newcastle on 70 points. They're at Chelsea on Sunday. United welcome Fulham here, and Liverpool on 66 points. It will be the Europa League for them. But for Chelsea, who knows what will happen on Sunday? Will their team suddenly show some sort of fight as Bruno Fernandes releases Rashford again? Chelsea here are so wide open, it's not true. Garnacho with a break into the penalty area, the clearance, pinballs off Fred back towards Rashford, who tries a curler right-footed, and it's not too far wide of the far post.
Now you can see what he's trying to do, Rashford. We've seen him do that before, just cutting on his right-hand side and look to almost knuckleball that into the far corner. But again, it's sloppy, really. That ball from Fernandes was excellent. Rashford just needed to take a better touch, and he was away, miscontrolled, and then had to recycle the ball.
You're listening to Manchester United against Chelsea on Talk Sport with Car Finance 24/7. Search Car Finance 24/7 today. And now it's given away by Chelsea. Rashford now stepping in, he must score, he does score! Marcus Rashford makes it 4, and it's another defensive calamity from Chelsea. They were trying to play the ball out, but Fofana just gifted it to Bruno Fernandes inside the penalty area. Even Rashford needed 2 bites of the cherry to apply the finish, but he hits the big 3-0 tonight. United have 4, Chelsea are dreadful, and United are heading into the Champions League with a flourish.
They took a risk, and it went horribly wrong. Fofana just looking to play that across to Chalobah, missed pass as he did against Manchester City. It was then taken upon by Bruno Fernandes. He was so unselfish. Fofana then goes back to try and challenge Rashford. Rashford just lets it run across his body, and then the initial save from Kepa. Rashford just then rolls in the loose pass, and when you've got young players, heads can go down very quickly.
Chelsea fans are leaving in their droves here. 12 minutes to play. Their team are 4 goals down. Marcus Rashford, the first United player to score 30 goals for the club since Robin van Persie a decade ago. "17 of those have been in the Premier League." And it's 4-0 to Manchester United. And they've matched the scoreline that Frank Lampard suffered at his first Chelsea match in charge just under 4 years ago. Now Madueke looking to pick his way into the penalty area. It's out to Joao Felix. Wide towards Pulisic. Pulisic fires it in low, but it's just beyond Gallagher, lunging in at the far post. It'll be kept in play by Azpilicueta. Now Enzo Fernandez. And it's a real badge of honour for those Chelsea fans still in the stadium here now, because this will really hurt them. They've been used to seeing their team at the top of the tree. They've been used to seeing their team challenge as a high ball into the penalty area, looking for Pulisic, and he seemed to jump into De Gea, and now Lindelof raises his arms into the body of Pulisic, and the two players square up almost on the goal line. De Gea was flat out on the turf for a moment, and Stuart Atwell quickly breaks it up, and whatever happened there, Victor Lindelof took grave exception to the actions of Christian Pulisic.
Well, because I think Lindelof felt that Pulisic went into the challenge with David De Gea in not really a fair manner, but I've got to say, he got up so well, Christian Pulisic, and he lands on David De Gea, and it's unfortunate. I think actually Lindelof then gets involved to protect his goalkeeper, when actually there wasn't a lot wrong with that from Pulisic.
He's trying to win the ball, and he got higher than De Gea. The ball actually hit him on the shoulder. Treble change now being made by Chelsea. Ronnie Madueke is coming off. Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Hakim Ziyech are two of the players who are coming on. In the Rugby League, Hull KR have turned things around. They now lead Wigan 22-18. That game live over on TalkSport 2 at the moment. Gallagher and Chukwuemeka have also gone off, and Fofana, Loftus-Cheek and Ziyech have come on.
Yeah, I think Loftus-Cheek's obviously gone in alongside Fernandes, just to give a little bit, Enzo Fernandez that is, just to give a little bit more cover, I think, in the middle of the pitch, Manchester United, when they break. David Fofana's gone up front with João Felix playing as a 10.
The Chelsea fans giving the Super Frankie Lampard chant, and a number of the United fans around us are joining in, which must hurt. And David Fofana coming on as well, only his third appearance in signing from Molde. Lovely ball played forward now by Varane. Here is Garnacho cutting in field from the left again, up towards the edge of the penalty area, square to Fernandes, scoop back towards the run of Garnacho, and the header is guarded back inside the penalty area, and further damage is avoided for now. Ziyech with the clearance, but 8 minutes to play here on TalkSport. 03717 223344, the number to call the sports bar. Manchester United leading by 4-0. Now David Fofana brings it down well, breaks into the penalty area all on his own, and in the end he runs into Lindelof, and it's claimed by De Gea.
Excellent defensive work from Lindelof. Didn't commit himself, just waited for that little shift of the ball from David Fofana, and that's when he went to pounce like a cobra, just waiting. And then as soon as that ball was loose, that foot went out to snap at the ball.
Well, this will be 1 win, 3 draws and 7 losses for Chelsea in the Premier League. In the calendar year, they've had 5 wins in 26, scoring 19 goals. For a club of their stature, that is woefully short. Now Lindelof once again. 7 minutes to play here until the agony is over for Chelsea tonight, but Newcastle can pile on more agony on Sunday. Don't forget, we're live from Goodison Park on Sunday with commentaries coming from the King Power Stadium, and Ellen Road has gone. Nacho strikes the shot, and it takes a deflection, and it comes back off the crossbar.
Oh, it was so electric from Rashford, just bursting in through the middle. Garnacho turn, it took a wicked deflection off Trevor Chalobah and onto the crossbar. So lucky for Chelsea.
David Fofana back towards Ziyech again. He comes in field, hits a left-footed shot into the back of Casemiro. Loftus-Cheek, Ziyech, the high ball wide to the far side. It's beyond Hall, and it goes behind for a goal kick. And in the second half, we've got to say that Chelsea have been really, really poor. There were moments in the first half where they actually played quite well, but in the second half, apart from a flurry right at the start, there's been very little.
Oh, they've been an absolute shadow of their former selves, Chelsea. Not easy when you're young, a lot of young players out there, but still no real structure, no support really for that defensive line. And another really drab, lifeless display in the end.
Bruno Fernandes comes off. Scott McTominay comes on. His second appearance from the bench following 9 games out with injury. So big games coming up for Scotland as well in the international break at the end of the domestic season. But Chelsea's poorest season since the mid-1990s continues to limp to a conclusion here at Old Trafford tonight. Casemiro forward to Garnacho for United, and that 4th goal was an utter embarrassment.
It was symptomatic really of where they've got themselves to, Chelsea, where the levels aren't there. And Frank Lampard talked about it before the game, the basics, the things that are just important, the simple things that need to be absolutely right before the great things can happen.
Loftus-Cheek wide towards Ziyech. Garnacho will try and make the challenge, but Ziyech continues. Now Loftus-Cheek again. Ziyech coming in field, looking to open out the field. He goes back towards Fofana. Another flick from João Felix will find Pulisic. He plays it wide to Hall. Back towards João Felix again. Fofana now being used as the central striker. Hall finding Pulisic and João Felix. It's neatly done by Chelsea. Hall had the opportunity to deliver a cross, but instead chops back and finds João Felix. His drag around the corner is blocked, and then Ruben Loftus-Cheek loses out in possession, but Chelsea do have it back with just over 3 minutes to play here. 4-0 to Manchester United. This game has been as poor as many Chelsea fans will have feared from their point of view, as João Felix tries to dart into the area, and in the end it bobbles behind, and it will be a goal kick.
They've done what they've needed to do, haven't they, Manchester United? It's not been vintage. They were poor in the first half. Second half they've been a little bit better, so they've not been clinical enough. But as it seems this season, they keep these clean sheets when you think they probably don't deserve them. It's not a bad knack to have.
It'll be 12 clean sheets here this season, and 28 home games unbeaten since early September, which looks great on paper, and you can throw in a couple of Europa League results in that, but at the moment they will finish 3rd in the Premier League, and considering the state they finished last season in, that's a measure of improvement.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, and some positivity really going into the summer. If they can just get a few more players, obviously there's lots of players rumoured, but you add a few more players, and especially a striker. I mean, both these teams need a top striker.
Now Garnacho again down the right hand side, brings the ball down on his chest. He's got support from Fred. Fred tries to play it square. It's then scooped over the top by Casemiro. A high kicking Fred loses out, and it's quickly played forward by Ziyech, and Chelsea can break here with João Felix. He's got 3 players in support as he breaks towards the edge of the penalty area, and he goes all the way, and João Felix scores an excellent individual goal for Chelsea. One defiant swipe at the end of a horrible evening, but João Felix showing his quality there in a flash, and Manchester United's lead has been cut to 4-1, but Chelsea and their fans at least have a moment to remember.
What a decent strike this is from João Felix. I mean, Manchester United just back away and back away. You can't keep doing that. There comes a point, and it's usually the edge of your area, where you've got to get out to the person with the ball. No real pressure. A player of his quality, and what he does is he makes sure he keeps it nice and low, get it zipping off the surface and away from David De Gea, right into the corner, and crisply into the back of the net. Lovely finish.
Chelsea fans are chanting, we've scored a goal, and they're still celebrating extravagantly. Here is Garnacho now at the far post, and the shot is turned over the top by Kepa. It's a really good save. It was a cross in from the right hand side, and Garnacho on the angle, seeing his shot blocked by the legs of the goalkeeper.
Brilliant break from Manchester United. Sancho with a great ball across. Garnacho had already got past Azpilicueta, who tried to drag him back. He shrugged him off, then got into a great position. He does everything right. Tries to pass this into the far corner. That's a brilliant save from Kepa Arrizabalaga with his toe. Kepa, he just sticks out, gets a flick on it.
We're into a minimum of 4 added minutes here. 03717 223344, the number to call the sports bar at the end of this game. We'll get live reaction from the tunnel here at Old Trafford as well. Now Wan-Bissaka, wide to the far side from the corner kick, played short to Fred in a central area. Malacia wide to the left in Garnacho, but Fofana comes in with a good challenge and he brings it clear. Some of the Chelsea fans who are still here are still dancing following that goal from Joao Felix, but he's challenged on this near side, tries to squeeze it wide to Ziyech, believes he was fouled, but Stuart Atwell gives nothing.
Well, he was fouled. It's just Stuart Atwell played the advantage and then didn't bother bringing it back.
But Manchester United's hopes of a 7th successive clean sheet in the Premier League ended by Joao Felix. Casemiro has been awarded the player of the match. Some finish over on TalkSport 2. It's Hull 22, or Hull KR 22, Wigan 22 in Super League. As Rashford comes forward for Manchester United now, down the right, cutting infield into the penalty area. Low shot from him is gathered by Kepa at the second attempt.
Lovely footwork from Marcus Rashford, getting away from Fofana, and he looks sharp, doesn't he? It's what Manchester United fans and his manager will want to see, that sharpness in Marcus Rashford's play.
But they could have had 6 or 7 here tonight. Ziyech now for Chelsea, just stumbles as he heads into a phalanx of red shirts, and Fred comes away with the ball, and we have a couple of minutes of added time still to play here. Long ball downfield from Fofana, headed away by Lindelof. Enzo Fernandez will gather. Pulisic peels away to the left, but it's Fofana now inside the penalty area, but it took too long to maybe think about that, and Varane will bring the ball clear for United. But it's quickly won back by Pulisic, and the players have come on for Chelsea, have given them a bit more impetus. I mean, again, we're coming from a fairly low point, but the changes have marginally made them less poor, let's say that.
I mean, the big thing is just the gap. When they get counter-attacked against, there's no midfield. It's literally just the back four that are left exposed.
We're going to win 5-4 is the chant from the Chelsea fans. Here is Sancho now, pulls it back to McTominay, and he jabs the shot at the near post, and it's gathered by Kepa, but Chelsea try to play the ball out, it's given away, and the shot from Rashford is returned back into the penalty area, and it's deflected wide for a corner.
They should have scored a few more, shouldn't they, really, Manchester United. Again, it's a good save from Kepa. He then bowls it out and they give it straight back to Marcus Rashford, who takes a shot that's deflected, but it's a good cut back from McTominay. He just tried to then stab it towards the far post, and well saved by Kepa.
Our TalkSport colleague Scott Minto is just making his way down from the press box to the pitch side to try and explain away this Chelsea defeat to the foreign television audience here tonight. Of course, he played in a Chelsea team in the mid-90s that was almost as bad as this one. But look, the facts don't lie, do they? I mean, you look at number of points, number of goals, it is what it is, isn't it?
It's hard to think that Chelsea can be this poor when
you could argue that the team in the mid-90s did not have as much money spent on it. But the full-time whistle goes, and the headline moment from this game is that Manchester United have qualified for the Champions League. Next season, the top 4 has been sorted out in the penultimate game here at Old Trafford, and it's Liverpool who will head into the Europa League next season. Their spell of dominance around the Champions League has come to an end, and their place has been taken by their big rivals down the East Lancs Road, Manchester United, and they have brushed aside Chelsea by 4 goals to 1. And that final goal for Marcus Rashford after some terrible defending really summed things up from a Chelsea point of view. Of course, they will have to rebuild, but for Manchester United, it's a sign of progress. They will continue their rebuild in the Champions League next season. Full time, Manchester United 4, Chelsea 1.